Hi, welcome to another edition of Talk with Confidence. This is where we have inspirational conversations with inspirational people. Today I'm quite excited. We have a doctor in the house, a young doctor, a young lady by the name of Dr. Karabo Mahuma, and she's going to tell us about her journey, where she is, where she wants to go, etc., etc. Karabo, welcome. Well, Dr. Karabo.
Thank you so much for having me.
It takes a lot to earn that title, so I'm gonna remind myself or get Dr. Karabo. It's not just Karabo. Get Dr. Karabo. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. Yeah. You know, a lot of us when we're kids, né? They ask us, what do you want to become when you grow up? And one of the knee-jerk reaction, the instinct says, I want to be a doctor. You know, it's like one of those very glamorous types of occupations, but most of us never follow through. But you followed through. But did you always want to be a doctor?
Yes, for me, I actually always wanted to be a doctor.
Okay.
From my background, my parents and most of my family members are in commercial fields. So when I told them I want to do medicine, they were all surprised.
Okay.
But I think it was good that I wanted to do it for myself. It wasn't because of any pressure from my parents or friends. So yeah, that's why I followed through.
Okay, wonderful. And can you tell us about your journey into being a doctor? Maybe let's start at post-high school. I mean, how many years does it take? 7?
6 years.
6 years now.
Yes.
Okay, just the journey from post high school, tertiary. What has the journey been?
The beginning, I think deciding to actually go through it was hard. One of my cousins actually applied for medicine and started doing it, but she dropped out. So as soon as she dropped out, I thought I won't be able to do it. But I remember what my dad said, to say, you know what, go there and do it for yourself.
Yeah.
And you will come back and tell us if you can't do it, but I think you should do it for yourself. So that gave me the courage. I applied, got accepted, and so the 6 years were not a plain sailing, not at all. I think it's for the first time I'm away from home, independence, and actually having your own discipline to say I'm going to study, and no one is watching you. So it was really a lot of perseverance. I think you doubt yourself a lot through the process, but I think for me, what helped was really having my family support and my faith in God. I think that really helped me a lot. And fast forward to final year, I lost my mother. So in final year, so that was a big challenge for me. But I think, through prayer and, like I said, support of family, I got through, and I'm so grateful. Now it's worth it. And I think sometimes when you're in the journey, it's so hard to see the finish line. But once you're there, you're so grateful that you did. So so for me, it's a grace thing. And I don't take any credit for myself.
Wonderful. And I mean, like you said, one of your cousins dropped out, and there are a lot of other people who were not able to finish the journey. What do you think is the biggest hurdle, in getting to the milestone of actually getting your qualification?
I think believing you can do it. I think there's a lot of tests that you fail along the way. Some tests you do well, some tests you don't. But I think it's not about that one failed test. It's about the journey. And I think it builds a lot of character to not just pass everything, but to know that you work for it. So it's really like failing and dusting yourself up again, and so to really persevere, I think if the goal in the end is yours, not your parents' goal, not your parents' dream,
exactly,
then it's much easier to follow through because it's something that you want.
Wonderful. I like that. I mean, in terms of the actual work itself, like you said, from the outside it looks quite glamorous. You've got the title, when you come in, people bow down.
Not always. Not really,
But is it that glamorous? Is the glamour versus reality? What's the reality behind the title?
I think it's a lot of hard work. I think that's what you should. It's not about just wearing the white coat. And sometimes you forget that it's really an honor because you get to deal with sensitive issues that people have.
Yes.
You know, families, people come to you when they're most vulnerable. So there's a lot of hard work. There's a lot of emotional commitment, time as well. The calls are not easy. You know, you work a lot, sacrifice a lot, sacrifice your time with your family. So I think it's really about helping other people, and you give a lot. It's not so much about what you get for yourself, really. And it's not as glamorous as it looks on TV. There's a lot of blood, literally, and
so
sweat.
the white coat is usually red.
Yeah, no, we don't even bother. We don't even bother, but it's not what it looks on TV.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you talk about the emotional aspects of it. I mean, for instance, people die.
Yes.
Maybe you've got a patient that you are treating, and not everybody makes it, and sometimes they die. What those types of experiences? How have they been, and what is the emotional toll been on you?
I think in the beginning it was very hard to deal with it, and you end up kind of, you know, separating your personal life from your work, because otherwise you take it home. You take it very personal when someone dies. But I think how I've dealt with it, to say you do your best, and everything is in the hands of God. I think we're not God, so we can't save everyone. But you do the best you can, and and I think being compassionate towards the family and the people you treat really helps a lot.
Okay. And in terms of the rewards, I mean, if it was somebody was about to die, I don't know the scenarios, but maybe somebody was about to die, and through your intervention, through something that you do to help them, they make it. What is the emotional reward of that?
It's so rewarding when family members come and say, "Doctor, thank you so much." To see a kid who wasn't well walk out of the hospital. So that for me is the greatest reward. I think knowing that something you did help someone or a family member to go back home. I think that for me is the best part.
And I'm guessing it's also why you got into it.
Yes.
To help, to serve.
To help people, to have some, like, that your knowledge can help someone else. I think that's, for me, that was what motivated me.
And I mean, it's such a critical sphere, you know. I mean, you've got lawyers, you've got teachers. I mean, teachers are also great, lawyers are also great. But the thing that differentiates your profession is life
and death.
And death, you know. And being so young, I mean, you're 25, 26.
Sorry. A little bit more than that.
A little bit more, okay, we won't mention. We'll keep it at 25.
25.
She's 25. So being 25, I mean, you're young. And I'm guessing a lot of your peers, a lot of your colleagues are much older than you. Are there specific people that you look up to within the profession who, you know, like that first time when you lost a patient and you were emotionally distraught, was there somebody that you could talk to within the profession?
When you start out in the profession, you start out as an intern. So you always have medical officers or supervisors over you. So they're always available that you can talk to them. And surprisingly, even the sisters, the nurses, because they've been in this field for so long. They've seen it all. So they're actually a great motivation. So they really help. So you do have a support system a lot of the time.
All right. And just for like the younger audience, maybe people who are in high school, what types of subjects and what should your interest be in order to make it to the level that you're at right now?
I think when I was in high school, it was called life sciences. That is important, and I know mathematics and physical science are important to get into medicine as well. But I think you need to love the human body. You need to love how things work. You need to realize that you're gonna deal with blood. So blood must, you must get used to that concept. But those are the sciences. I think,
Okay. All right.
High school.
Now, from a family point of view, you mentioned that you lost your mom. I believe it was to cancer as well. but you still have, I mean, you've got a large family and the support structure is there. What has the role been, or what role have they played in bringing you to this level?
I think they've been supporting with prayer. I think it's so good that I can be myself when I'm at home and I can cry. And I was given the opportunity to really grieve for my mom. But it was just wonderful to know that you can call your dad and say you had a bad day and you lost a patient. So that it really helped me to get through it. And I think to remember that my mom prayed for this and she wanted me to succeed. And so to make her proud. So yeah, that was a great encouragement. But I have an amazing family. They're very supportive. My aunts. So I never felt like I really lost a mom because they were always there. Yeah.
And you recently got married. We're debating off air whether we should introduce her as Dr. Madiwa or Dr. Mahuma. But you recently got married. And how's that journey been?
It's great. It's great having a lifetime partner who you can tell also as well. The day you had, it was terrible, it was good. Just to have someone to share things with, so I think it's a great thing.
Okay, wonderful. Now, we spoke of air and you tell me about your other patients. Can you delve a little bit deeper into that? What are some of the, I mean, you're a doctor, but there are other things that you love and you still want to do. What are some of those things?
I'm really interested in going into media and health education and encouraging people and educating people about staying healthy, living positively. I think that's what I'm passionate about, especially to young people. I love talking to young people because I feel like sometimes they make wrong decisions that I was fortunate enough not to have made because of the support I got. So I think that for me would be something I would want to go into.
Awesome. I mean, as a doctor, you heal the body, but then there's also the spiritual aspect of people. Do you find that even in your as you go in your day to day, as you practice medicine, as you help people, is there a spiritual element attached to it, or is it just putting the bandage and then you go? Or is there a deeper element, a deeper conversation, or a deeper connection that happens there?
No, there's really, for me, being a Christian, I feel like there's so much more to life than this life. There's after death as well. So I think for me it helps because having faith in God, because sometimes there's just no hope medically, and or sometimes you're really not sure what decision to make for this patient, and you really pray for guidance and pray for wisdom, and you end up doing it the right thing. So I think for me, my faith is a big help in that regard. For me, I think spiritual and physical really, because sometimes even if you heal the body, if the spirit is still grieved or the patient is burdened, they may never get well simply because of that part.
That's very interesting. What role does, because I've read or heard somewhere that some ailments, some illnesses are a result of just thinking negative perceptions, negative thoughts, depression that leads to your arm or your leg getting swollen. I'm just making generalizations. But what is the link between, if you're spiritually unwell, what is the link or the connection to physical unwellness as well?
The thing is, when you are stressed as well, like just a simple example, when you're stressed about work, you end up having a headache because it puts toll on the body. It's like puts the body through a stress response. So your body starts reacting, hormones start getting released that are of a stress situation. So the headaches, the tension, tension headaches are a result of stress, for example. So all of that affects your physical well-being. It's amazing how the body works, but how you are emotionally really contributes to how you are physically. Yes, even healing gets better when you are actually happy and in a peaceful place. So So
that's very interesting.
Both need to be in
balance, in check.
Yeah.
That's very interesting. I mean, I did physiology.
Some stage.
In school.
Yeah.
I think I got 51% on my final. So now I can qualify for white doctor. But what I found interesting about physiology was that, things like I never knew why people shiver when it's cold. And in physiology, they taught us that it's your body trying to generate heat.
Yeah.
So very interesting things. And what are some of the things that, you studied the body from head to toe, you know what the body does. What are some of the interesting things that we may not know about the body that you can share with us? Some fun facts, if you want to call them.
For me, I'll relate it to something that actually happened to me once. I was chased by a dog.
Okay.
So it's what we call in medicine a stress response. Stress response.
Okay.
So it's fight or flight.
Yes.
So what happens? I'm not a great runner. But that day, I had so much strength. There was a field. I ran so fast. There was a field with thorns. I think even if I ran through that, I wouldn't have felt it.
Is it? Wow.
Because that's just how great the body is. Because you need to fly.
Yeah.
You need to really run.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, the energy from your muscles, all the stored energy, everything. Yeah. So you get a burst of energy that you never had. So for me, that's quite interesting to see. So I ran so fast that day. Yeah.
Wow, awesome. I also I read somewhere that, there was a woman who, her baby was trapped under a car. And she was a woman, she's not a bodybuilder, but she summed up the strength to pick up the car.
Yeah.
And that's amazing. It's
really,
I think in terms of the body, we only know a little bit of what it's truly capable of.
Yeah.
Karabo, if you were to speak to a younger Karabo, 17 years old Karabo, what would you say to her? About the journey, about life, about anything. What advice would you give to her?
I think I would say to her, believe in yourself. Don't look for affirmation from other people. Because if you do, you may never... I wouldn't have done medicine if I listened to other people. And really persevere. It's not going to be easy. But the goal is worth it. And I think the journey will build character. So everything you go through, there is a plan and there's a purpose for that thing, even though it may be hard. So I would tell her to persevere, not to give up.
Wonderful. And then we've looked back, now we're going to look forward. Describe Karabo Mahuma in 15 years' time. You'll be what? If you're 25, you'll be 40. Describe what's your vision for your life in terms of your career, your other aspirations in terms of the media, your life in general. What are your aspirations? What is your vision going into the future?
I would really love, like I said, to go into media. I think in 10 years' time to have a show. Where I can inspire the youth and talk to them about health issues. Also mentoring, especially young female upcoming professionals, especially in the medical field, to really encourage them and build a support network for them. I think it's sometimes so hard to go through if you're alone. And possibly even a trust fund or a financial backup for people that really want to study medicine, because I wouldn't have gotten through medicine without my bursary. So I think that would be what I would want to do.
Passing the baton and giving. There's a beautiful illustration that was made about when you get to the top of the building, you should always send the elevator back down. So because there are other people at the bottom who. You have gotten up a couple of levels, but they are still there, waiting for the opportunity. So that's a beautiful thing. It's important to send the elevator back down. Dr. K, Dr. Dr. K, it's been an honor having you here. It's been inspirational. I'm sure our audiences are quite inspired. And I think we should have you back. You said you want to be in media. So I think maybe we can start a platform for you here, and we can talk medical stuff and just advise audiences on medical issues.
That would be awesome.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. Thank you.
Wonderful.
Thanks.
Wow, I'm inspired. I'm sure you've been inspired. You've been watching Talk with Confidence, conversations that inspire. Do join us again next time, right here on Global Conference TV. Etara.